Amen Break, that's called. It was recorded back in 1969 by Gregory Coleman in a band called The Winstons. It was on a track called Amen Brother, which was a B-side that they released. It's only 7 seconds long, and it is one of the most sampled drum breaks there has ever been. Gregory Coleman sadly received no royalties for this, and in 2006 he sadly died absolutely penniless and homeless. It was used extensively through the 80s and 90s in hip hop, jungle, drum and bass, and we are going to learn how to play it today. It seems really complicated, but it can be split into 3 sections. I'll put a link to the chart below in the description so you can take a look at it and see that it's 2 bars of, let's call it pattern A, 1 bar of pattern B and 1 bar of pattern C. Okay, so first part of it. We play it on the ride cymbal. You could play it on the hi-hat. But I like to play it on the ride cymbal. I like the sound of it on the ride cymbal. Now it's quite similar, if you remember the snare drum independence exercises that we did in a previous video. So if you remember that from a previous video, I think it's snare drum independence number 3. Anyway, it's one of the snare drum independences. I'll put it up on here, a link to it. It's similar to that. So it's 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Up to speed. One and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. And we play that twice. So it would go like this. That's part 1. It's pattern 1. 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Part 2 is slightly trickier. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and. And we only play that once. Now the tricky bit is that gap where there is only a ride cymbal. Okay, because you'll want to put more bass drums in, but you have to resist that. Okay, so there's really not very many bass drums in there. Part 3. This is probably the trickiest one of all of them. So just to make sure I get this right, because this is quite tricky to count. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and 4 and. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and 4 and. So the third part is quite tricky. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and 4 and. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and 4 and. Take it nice and slowly, and remember there is a crash cymbal on the and of 3. So, one E and a. Okay. Beat 2, easy. Beat 2 is easy. Crash cymbal. Beat 3, this is the one with the crash cymbal. So, we're going to go. It's 3E and. Okay. 3E and. Bass drum and crash together. Lastly, beat 4, nice and simple. So we'll put the last part, the tricky part, we'll put the tricky part together. And we end up with. Okay? It's a tricky one. So let's go through those 3 sections again. First section. And we do that twice. Right? Second section. Second section. Only do that once. Third section. We only do that once. So we put all 4 together and we should end up with. Okay? Take it really slowly. Take it really, really slowly. And you want to get it up to your target speed is around 80 to 100. So if I was to do this at, well, what have we got the metronome set at? So yeah, we've got the metronome set at 80, which is good. Okay. So that's a nice steady 80. Let's just turn that off. That's a nice steady 80 beats per minute. If you want to make it faster, this is when we start getting into the drum and bass and the hip hop and the jungle. So there you go. One of the most sampled drum breaks in the history of music. I hope you enjoyed that lesson. I hope you got something out of it. Practice it nice and slowly, and don't worry about building up the tempo until you're absolutely comfortable with it. Experiment with it. Move some of the cymbals around. Put some drags in there. Makes it sound really nice. Try and take it up onto the tom-toms. See what you can do with it. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.